Hello and welcome to Rallying the Forge. I'm Solymr, and it's good to be back. So, had a little vacation and didn't miss too much. It seems like everything's coming this week already. So we've got big news coming here in this episode, and a lot of things to cover, and not enough time. So, real quick, while we're in the client, we'll start with that, and then we'll get to the big news. So, of course, the season is ongoing. Battle Pass still going. I don't think an end date's been announced, but long ways to go for 900,000. This is my son's account. I'm using one of his decks in the JedForge Competitive Circuit, number 3. So I was on that playing my matches the other night. There's no in-game event currently going on. I don't know if it's just this weekend there's not, or if they're waiting for a patch or something. There is a patch coming this week. Don't really have a whole lot of details on that, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit maybe. But not a whole lot going on in game there. The big news though, sad news, but big news. So I'll just read this straight to you. You can read it as well on your screen there. Hello, Forgeborn. We want to share an important update regarding SFCS. That's the SolForge Fusion Championship Series. After careful consideration, we've made the decision to discontinue the SFCS Tournament Series. We know this may be disappointing, especially for those who have competed in or followed these events closely, and we don't take that lightly. The SFCS has been an incredible experience for us to be part of, and that's entirely because of this community. The players and organizers helped turn it into something truly special, and we're grateful for everything you brought to it. While we'll no longer be running the SFCS as an official series, we're excited to support and grow community-run events moving forward. Are you interested in running SolForge Fusion events and earning rewards while doing so? We're looking to expand community-run events and would love your help. Event organizers can receive up to $150 of SFG/Embers prize support. And then it says includes up to 64 deck codes and $50 of SFG Embers. That sentence doesn't make sense to me, but okay. If you're interested or already running events and want to be included, please fill out this form by April 21st. We'll show the form in a minute. Thank you again to everyone who made the SFCS what it was. We're proud of what we built together and appreciate all the passion and support you've shown. Creature Chaos League was pushed back a week. It was supposed to start last week, but because of a problem in game that was going to appear in the Scientist Creature Chaos, they pushed it back so they get a patch out this week. There's still time to sign up though. The link is in the article. So here's the weekly event update. You have Wednesday game night, of course, with Crimson Caravan. Friday and Sunday, you have ML Vanby's events. Yeah, those are those. And then Saturday, you have the SolForge. They're doing a 6 weeks of trials. Last week was whatever Aloyn Tempest is. This week is Onyxium trials. That's Aloyn and Necrium. So sign up for that and participate. They have some rules regarding betrayers in that, so you might want to read the rules before submitting a deck. Yeah, so let's look at the form to fill out. You gotta put your email, your username, your SolForge Fusion email. I don't know why that would be different. Solana wallet, if you have the address. What kind of events are you looking to run? How many events per month are you looking to run? Obviously, the more you run, the more likely you're going to get the maximum amount of rewards. Running one event a month is not going to get you the $150 worth of SFG Ember prizes, or the... I think this should be or. It's either or, but I don't know. So fill this out if you're interested. I probably will fill it out because we need events to run, and while I did get a little bit of burnout before, and it felt like no one in the community was doing anything at the time besides me for a little bit there, I do look forward to maybe restarting my event series, which was the Bronze Crucible. So I may bring that back. And last time I was running it, I was trying to run it on Friday nights at 8 p.m. I may do that again. I was previously running it on Monday nights at 8 p.m. I have to decide. I do have something I do on Mondays now, every other week basically. So I'll see what I'm gonna do. We'll see what this is gonna look like. The prizes are not gonna be what it says there. That's gonna change. I'll have to see how I'm doing with deck codes for prizes, if I feel I can give for events or not. I'll work out those details, but you're probably going to see Return to the Bronze Crucible, so if you like constructed events, this is going to be the event for you. I'm probably going to try to run it through the SolForge Fusion event stuff here, because I do, even though it doesn't mean anything to anyone else, deck renown, I do like seeing decks get leveled up and push them out of the competition for this. So that's something that I do enjoy. If you are looking to, just play the same deck all the time and dominate people and want to be competitive in that regard, the JedForge Competitive Circuit is perfect for that. I highly recommend joining that with that type of deck. This is meant to let people bring bronze and unranked, which there's plenty of those right now. Everything's pretty much that. And be more entry-level friendly for newer players, but also allow people to bring in decks that are actually good and just get them renowned and get them leveled up and eventually out of the bronze level events. So we'll probably decide soon. I'm going to fill out the form regardless, and then maybe in my next video, I'll put out the details of what I decided on for this. But I'll probably be bringing it back at least twice a month. We might go up to 4 times a month. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to get burnt out. I'm doing a lot with videos. I was doing streaming for the SFCS, so I would stream this instead. But I also have to run the event and all that. So there's just a extra level of things to go with here. So it'd be really nice to see the return of the Upside Down. He had a Wednesday afternoon event going on. We had some other ones going on. I think Antofa was running an SFCS event series, so he could run a regular series. At the time he was running, it was like 7 a.m. my time. But for people that are in those parts of the world where that works for them, whatever time it would have been for them, that's great. Like, I want to see more events. I'd love to see events, 6 of the 7 days a week where people have options to play different time zones. So if you enjoy the game, you need to participate in the events, help the people running events get their events filled up, and also to just to support the game, help it grow with competitive play of some nature. There are casual events. ML Vanby's events are pretty much 100% casual, and if that's your cup of tea, then those are the events for you to go play in. If you want competitive, you've got the JedForge Competitive Circuit. Right now, it is the most competitive thing you will find in the game, and I think it's a tremendous series. He runs one at a time, and when it's about to end, he starts sign-ups at 16 people. First 16 to come, get it going. We're going to talk about that in a minute here. A lot of cool stuff with that, and then these other events are going to start popping up. You have SolForge has returned. That's been a weekly event, basically. And I know Bryce was at times looking at maybe doing sealed. If they can't get this back working for the paid portion to be able to do the sealed, maybe they'll figure something else out for it, or SB will step up and provide the decks free so we can do sealed. But there's a lot of cool options out there. I have to figure some stuff out. Like I said, I want to run it through this site to get the deck renown on decks, but also I may run a challenge, mimic the actual event, or vice versa. and have it so I can pull some. I can do it for either one. I can pull the data for either one and get some statistics going for different things. So I like pulling that data. But yeah, I guess I'm just rambling at this point. But my event series probably going to come back. I'm going to test it out. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how long I last. I don't want to get too burnt out or have too many things going on where I don't have time to actually enjoy myself. So that's very important for me there. So the SFCS, this is the end of it. The finals, this was the last event for it. It's sad to see it go. It was really fun. There were so many different people you played along the way. You can see all the names of people. Some people play regularly, some people do not. So hopefully some of these people keep playing the game, though, even though it's not going to be the SFCS series. It was a lot of fun, and they made improvements as they went on. They learned different things, and they made adjustments, and I think this last one really went off without a hitch. I think the scoring system got to a really good place overall. I think overall everything was going really well with it, and the event, the finals itself, ran really well, timely. We got 4 rounds in, so it was just really good. It was getting so good that we could have almost been talking about, like, maybe we do 5 rounds now, because you have enough players for that, and that would add another level of breaking some of this up. So overall, though, big shout out to 100X for organizing this and running this. They did a great job with it, and hats off to them for taking criticism about how things were going and adjusting to try to address those concerns. And I think they did really well with it. They handled everything really well, and they weren't perfect. Sometimes you got your deck codes a few weeks later than you would have expected, maybe, or whatever. But overall, everything got sent out. The only thing, I don't think this has been paid out yet. I don't think so anyway, but that'll be coming, I'm sure. They did finish out the golden bounty cards, so that is done. They did that. They paid those out at least, and then I imagine this will get paid out soon as well once they have all the information from people, for people who are getting SFG and whatnot and deck codes and all that goodness. So SFCS, sad to see it go, but I understand that it needed to, because SBE was paying some communities to host events. They're taking that instead, and they're going to give it to community members who want to run events that are more vested in the game, perhaps, if you want to look at it. It also probably nets them a savings to do it this way as well. The $150 dollars is probably per month, be my guess, of SFG, or if you do Embers, that's going to be about 3,000 Embers. The $50 would be 1,000 Embers, 64 deck codes. That comes out to be 2,560 Embers value. So that's probably the best way to go if you're looking for just stuff for in-game. That would give you about 3,500 Embers worth of value. And this is only going to be 3,000 Embers. Your $150 of SFG, depending how they do that, if they give that to as a lump sum, if it goes back up in value, that becomes very valuable for you, and that's the best way. It also could not go up at all. It's almost bottomed out pretty much anyway, but if it doesn't go up at all, then you just get $150 worth of SFG. So depending how you want to look at that, if you want to speculate, there's SFG there for you. But sad to see the SFCS go. I had a lot of fun with it. Got to do a lot of neat things with different communities, learn more about Web3 gaming and players. You know, it was an interesting experience, and I'm glad we got to experience it. I wish this would be continuing on, but I also understand the cost to doing business, and it's maybe not sustainable. So, all right, so let's get to the JedForge Competitive Circuit. You can see matches have already begun immediately. The first round is almost done. We've got big upsets already. Iron Bryce upset in round 1 by Red Eyes. He put Green Eyes there, but he found the answer to Baton, to Bryce's Baton. So Bryce has the long haul here to make his way back. He has to win the next 6 rounds just to get a shot to have to beat whomever could be here. Could be Peter twice to be able to win this whole thing. So 8 rounds he would have to win. Interesting. So I'm going to cover half the decks today, and we will cover the other half of the decks next video, because I don't want the video to be too long. It's already going to be long. I just don't want it to be way too long. I do want people to watch the videos and enjoy them, so I know some people would sit for an hour and a half and watch it all, but there's a lot of people who tune out too. So I'm already going long as is. But let's get to the decks that we're going to preview today. So we start with this one, and this is Peter's Travelers. This is his one of his Killian decks. I don't know if it's the only Killian deck. I haven't looked at his collection, his deck list to see. But this is what Peter brought. So it's a Killian deck with a Krogaius Mantis Forge Seal, of course. He talked about this in his deck archetype rankings video that I put out for him, basically. I believe he had this in the Convergence League. Maybe. I'm pretty sure he had this deck in there, but I'd have to look at the exact list to make sure it was the same deck for sure, but I'm pretty sure this is the deck. So this is the third competitive circuit. He almost lost to Bryce last time, but he'd end up winning with the deck he had there. So he's played some pretty good decks. There are some decks he has not played that he may not play, like his Platinum RC deck already. He's got a bunch of good decks. Peter only has the best. So if you're looking for what does a good Killian deck look like, here you go. He is incredible with the deck building. He is a very, very good player. He does not make mistakes. And, obviously neither half is a perfect half. There could be better halves to have in the world of SolForge Fusion. But for what he has in his collection, this is a really good Killian deck. Convergence on cycle 2. And, not much to say here. It's Krogaius Mantis Forge Seal. He's got Killian. I'm actually playing a similar deck on my son's account in the event, but I think Killian was made for this combination, and it works really well. It's a really solid, consistent combination. Playing spells, playing creatures. As you level up Mantis and Forge Seal, you get some additional plays out of there, which lets you level up cards you might have missed at certain points because you can play them for free later on. He does have some upgrade stuff in here as well. When you do Convergence, you upgrade a card and discard it. So something like Sipin Experimentation gives you gizmos. He's got Energy Prison to upgrade additional cards. If he missed a Botanimate somewhere, he could potentially upgrade it through some other means to catch it back up, or play it from his discard pile. So a lot of little things, and ultimately it's going to come down to he's trying to get Kragaius out there level 3 and beat you down with that. He also, in his deck, he's got a drone to upgrade additional things, so he's got a lot of upgrade, so he doesn't have to play the level 1 or 2 version of Kragaius. So it just is what it is. His deck, very good. He's one of the favorites in the circuit. There are predictions. You can see people entered predictions. My prediction's not going so well. I had a lot on Bryce, and he lost in the first round, so he kind of killed my bracket. But this was different, being able to predict before the event started. I really like it, by the way, Jed, so I hope you do this every time with it. It was a lot of fun, and I am the person who put this other bracket in down here. So you don't have to have a challenge account to submit predictions, just so people know. So next time, hopefully, he puts it out to the entire community, and people can just come here and predict and submit results. It'll just be fun to see. I have to see if I can pull this data out of the API. If I can, I'll see if I can't see who is the most picked. I looked at these, glanced at them, tried to figure out who people picked, and that's the decks we're going to cover, is the top 8 decks of the most favored players, perhaps. So, obviously, Peter's top of the line there. The next person is going to be Bionic Soup. He's the next person that was probably most picked. He, of course, has his infinite combo with the Spellweaver. You're not going to be able to see the... I wonder... Yeah, I don't think it's up on the website yet to see it, the Spellweaver. But he does play it in Cycle 2. He's got a Betrayer Mantis with an Apocamancer, so he does infinite damage if he's got enough time. So with the Mantis, Apocamancer, and he needs Forced Revival. So if he gets that going, he can get that going Cycle 1. He can pretty much kill you off if he's got enough time, or if he's done enough damage to bring you to whatever the maximum amount of damage he can get off in that time. But he can get a ton off, so you have to be on the lookout for that. Aggressive decks may do well against this deck because he is not going to play any spells except for Forced Revival in Cycle 1, trying to get this going if he draws the cards. So if once he starts playing other spells, it really can break the cycle for him, because if he doesn't get the Forced Revival back, the infinite combo ends. So he's going to be playing creatures, and so if you can keep his board clear and get some damage through, or dominate the board state with big creatures early on, you've got a really good chance, I think, of beating him. But if he gets his combo going, he might be able to blast you down with Apocamancer damage. But if he can't finish you, and it's going to be a close match, you might be able to just finish him off with your big creatures afterwards if he didn't kill your creatures off. So we'll see how this plays out. He did win his first round match, I think. Let's glance real quick. Yeah, he beat Namrog, so I'm sure Namrog really enjoyed that matchup. Next up would have been Iron Bryce. So, of course, he's playing Baton. His Baton Verlana runner-up Fuse. He's running it back, and he got shockingly defeated in the first round. He said that Red Eyes has the perfect counter to his deck. And I'm going to guess it's the Farrier Shardback and Astraxian. We'll see how that plays out. He's already lost to Carl, I think, so we'll see where everything goes from there. But we talked about this deck in the last JedForge Competitive Circuit. This deck works really well you might not. It probably works better than you think it's going to. It's really frustrating to play against. I know my experience with it was awful. He crushed me. He drew really well with it too, and just this is a really strong deck, and I still think, regardless of him losing the first round, that this deck is top tier. So, but I kind of want him to win so he can not play it anymore. He can play a different deck, so we don't have to see this anymore. Next up, we'll show next the Red Eyes deck that beat him. So he's got Astraxian, he's got a Furious Shard back. So of course Astraxian with the dinos, when your dinos are dealt non-combat damage, like Baton, it deals that much damage to the enemy player. So while Bryce might be able to kill a creature or damage somebody, he's eating a huge chunk of damage every time he does that. His deck relies on Baton being able to get pumped and start picking creatures off the board with his spells, or when he does drop one, that they're low enough that he can just take them off and then buff himself back up. There's a lot of damage that could be done here with an Astraxian on the board and other dinosaurs, and then a Furious Shard back as well, potentially. So he's got River of Souls. So we have River of Souls control, reanimation style deck, Furious Shard back. In this case, it's along the same ilk as Bryce's deck, who also has River of Souls with Baton. This version does it with Furious Shard back or Straxian, and obviously this version performed well against it. So we've seen these decks more and more lately, and I really, prior to Skull Crusher playing it, and then me following it up after he beat me with it, I think since then it really has taken off, and we're seeing a lot more of these style decks, because people were playing against it in the SFCS and getting frustrated because it takes work to get the Furious Shard back off the board or the Astraxian off the board. You deal with that threat, and then they just bring it right back, and you got to start all over. And with the Furious Shard back, it can get really bad if they drop the next level version down. Now you got two of them pinging you. It gets beyond annoying and frustrating. So people are making their own versions and having fun with it. So this deck lost. I gotta see what Carl brought as well, because I think Carl beat him. So the next deck we're going to look at Carl's. We're going to keep going chaining here. That's what we should do. So Carl's deck here, he has this is his Soul Swap deck, perhaps? Is he trying it with a different Alloy half? Curious. So he's got his unstoppable best version out there, Soul Swap Cycle 4 with the Shambling Direhound. He's got it paired with a Loyan here. I don't know if I've seen this pairing before, but I can't always remember everything. But he's got a lot of stuff to upgrade here. Stroke of Genius. Darkforge Loyalty could be potentially free. He's got the Oracle, which is nice. So I haven't seen this deck. I feel like I've seen the Alloy half somewhere. Probably he's probably played it before in something, but not sure on how this plays out. If the Soul Swap is still just as good with this half, like it's a really good Necreum half. So I don't know. I'm guessing. I have to imagine he's playing the Soul Swap side. That'd be crazy not to, but this could be something that takes it all as well, because his Soul Swap is really good, and it's a top tier Soul Swap. Soul Reaver is what it'll end up being. Soul Reaver deck. So if you go to Cycle 4, it could be game over for you. So that's Carl's deck. Let's take a look here. Carl lost to Peter already. Peter beat it. Really interesting. All right, so then we'll go a little bit here. Peter played Billy Bad Aim. And this is Billy's deck that he's playing. He's got an RSE deck here with a Darkheart Sorcerer. He's got a Necromancer, Blight Witch. Pretty interesting deck here. This is a Mage deck. Nice. So I feel like, but not positive, that this is... I don't know if this is his really good RSC or not, or if it's just another one he has. I don't remember. I played it at Worlds last year, but I don't remember what he had. But you see an RSC deck here, of course. You got Darkheart Sorcerer, so it's a pretty standard deck archetype. Whether he plays this, aggressive or defensive, I don't know. He's got a River of Souls in here as well, which can bring back RSC if you do manage to get rid of it, if he brings back the level 1 Nova. So beware of that. He does have a Sack Chamber, which can be nice for some life gain back. He's got Forced Revival. This is a pretty good, nice Necrium deck he got. So, definitely like the combination. He's got a lot of free spell possibilities. Stormcaller, Blight Witch. He's got the drone for upgrades. Pretty neat. Breaks through stealth, mobility. Yeah, I like what he's got. Flame Jet's free. He's got Ice Storm, Disintegrate for removal. He's got Revival. Bring back Darkheart if he's getting low in health to pump his health back up. Infernal Ritual can be pretty good. Like, really good cards. Cacklebones, blah, so what? He's got a Shambling Banshee, so Shambler as well. Didn't even see that before. So 4 out of the 5 creatures good. 4 out of the 5 spells really good. Wither's not bad. He does give -2/-2 for each spell played, including this one. So with a Flame Jet in hand, free spell play, he can really build this up, and it can be a really good spell. At worst, it's just a bad spell early on anyway. The level 3 is free, so that's really nice too. But like, you can build that up to be really great too. So really like what he's got going on here. Doesn't have a lot of elementals. It sucks. He's got a Magus and Commander, but doesn't have a Fairy Shard back in here. That really sucks. Really nice to have that, to all those proc mechanisms for it. But interesting RC deck. He did lose to Peter, though, who's playing a Killian deck, of course. Okay, who have we not done yet? We're going to go back. We got 2 more decks to cover. We will cover... Let's look at Namrogs. He was another highly picked player. He did lose to Jed, though, so now he's in the loser's bracket. He's got a Nova deck with a Betrayer Apocalypser. He's got a Darkheart Sorcerer. He also has River of Souls, Circe's Call, Endless Hunt, which can reanimate a warrior. And then he's got the Nova deck, of course. He's got a Master, Elementalist, 5 spells, Flame Jet in there for free spell play. Pretty good. Lightning Brand also can do free with a Mage in play. So he's got some free stuff. He's got some reanimation with the River of Souls, Endless Hunt potentially. Endless Hunt can bring back the Darkheart, who's a warrior. Or Apocalypser. Either way, both of them are warriors. So, pretty interesting. So he is going to face the loser between Ike's Ninjas and Upside Down. And so that brings us to our last deck. Another favorite picked was the Upside Down. Here's his deck that he's playing. He has a Nova Elementalist deck, RC deck, paired with the Nuterra deck. He has a Bumble Believer of the Hive going on here. So quite an interesting deck. I'm curious to see how this plays out. I'm sure he'll be recording his matches. So, Bumble, the art is here, thankfully. You play the Enchanted Hive. You can't see it on here, unfortunately. They don't have that set up for now. When you play a spell, you ready Bumble. He activates, gives somebody attack and armor. The level 1 just gives armor, and the level 3 gives more attack and more armor. And when you flip the Enchanted Hive, I forget what you have to do to flip it offhand. When you flip it, you get like an 8/8 level 3 Bumblebee, and it gets +5/+5 every time you play a spell. So a lot of spells. You want to play a lot of spells, and it gets huge. And you're going to need Botanimate or Dreadbolt or Neck Revive or Blight Skull Bomb or anything that can hard remove it and get it off the board ASAP. Of course, on the flip side of that, he's pumping up Bumble, or the bee, I guess, with spells, but it also pumps Nova for attack. This one gets much more. He gets much bigger than Nova does. So which one are you going to focus on? I feel like that's what he's aiming for with this deck is you have to pick and choose which level 3 creature you're going to try and destroy. The Nova Elementalist is less of a threat. Plus, if you destroy him, he flips back over to an Exalt that can bring himself back out. Whereas the bee, and I don't know, I have to look it up. Let's see if we can't do that Bumble. Let's look at Bumble. Let's see if it's in here. See if we can't pull up if it flips back over. Sucks not having all the info on the deck page. They don't have Enchanted Hive on here with it. That's part of the problem. Let's look on here. See if this will pull it up. That's probably why they're not showing up, is they used to have, like, Enchanted Hive would have shown here on this page with it. So let's look at Enchanted Hive. If you have no empty lanes, you transform this and replace your creature in this lane. So that's good. So you want to fill up the lanes with this card. The RSC needs an open lane to flip him over. So you want to flip him first, then you want to fill up your lanes potentially. And then this transforms. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to look at my son's account because it's not showing the other card either. Of course, my son's account doesn't have it either. He doesn't have a Bumble. I'm gonna go here. You know where I do have the info. So Hive Guardian's what you get. You only get to flip it once. It does not flip back. So when you play a spell, give this +5/+5. He just gets huge. If you have a way to give him breakthrough or anything, really, really strong. Stealth on a turn can be really good. So definitely want... Wow, that's a double JedForge loyalty deck too. With Hive Guardian. With a descendant biologist too? Wow, I need to build this deck. Okay, so that is Brandon's deck. Curious to see how it performs. He would line up to play Jed next, or in our next video, we'll find out what Ike's Ninjas is playing. If he wins, he would face Bionic Soup. We have next video, we'll have my deck, Ithai's deck, Bleak's deck, Anovis's deck. So that's 5 of the decks we're going to have. We'll have TCG Jeff's deck. We will have Gizmo Lightning's deck, which I believe she said she picked the wrong deck. So she's not anticipating doing very well with it. And then lastly, we'll have Antofa's deck as well. So we've covered half the decks. We'll do the other half in our next video. I'm sure there'll be matches advanced by that time here, and we'll see some more matches going on. If you go to the link for the event, you can go to the predictions tab and see what everyone predicted. I'm currently 5th place. Bryce broke my predictions. Doesn't show it, but I picked Bryce to win the whole thing, which could still happen. He could still come back and do it. So I've picked correctly so far. I've got Brandon upsetting Jed. I just don't know how consistent Jed's combo is. If he misses on it, he's going to lose, in my opinion. But I don't know what the odds are of him being able to pull it off all the time. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. He might be able to pull it off at any point in time once, if he just keeps playing creatures and not spells. So we'll see how that works out for him. And I'm surprised Peter got so far, but I guess he didn't have to face Bryce, so I don't know. But always interesting, and I like this prediction stuff going on. So, down here it says predicted winner, Iron Bryce. So I can delete my prediction too if I'm ashamed of it, I guess. The other one, I think I also picked Bryce to win, but I picked some upsets throughout the whole thing just to keep it more spicy, but this one's doing worse than I had it. I still had Bryce and Peter in the finals and Bryce winning it. So we'll see. You should never bet against Peter. Right? Never bet against him. Of course he made it there. Alrighty. So sorry for the video being so long. I do appreciate you guys watching. I'm glad to be back. And making videos and streaming content. So I don't know. This week's not going to be my busy week at work. It's likely going to be next week now. So I will have another video this week. I'm leaning towards Thursday. And I think the scientist event's kicking off on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. That'd be the 17th, right? Yeah. So, and I think the patch, I feel like Tuesday is normally patch day, but maybe it'll be Thursday this week. I don't really know. I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. We'll cover the patch news if it's out when I do the video, which I imagine it will be if the event's supposed to start Friday, unless they push it back, which I'm sure they'll tell us. I'll do the other decks that we haven't done, and I will post any other information I have regarding any other updates or events, anyone who's going to announce that they're going to be trying to run some events for for everything. So, and I'll hopefully have decided by then about my series, how I'm going to run it, what the prizes are going to be, what support we're going to get from SBE in regards to that, or not. I don't know. So, a lot of questions to ask and find out before my next video. And as always, the rest of the nights, I'll be trying to put out a video per night of other matches. Right now, we are backlogged on the Legends of the Forge series. That's going to be competitive events, finals events. So I've got a lot of videos there to put out. And I don't have as many Flames of the Forge videos to put out right now, but that'll probably dwindle down to like 1 per week now, maybe 2. 2 a week at most, some weeks. And then Legends of the Forge with Jed's event series going on, it's going to be way more frequent. So that'll be at least 1 per week. I would probably say it's going to be at least probably more likely 2 per week, which is great. So that puts me at 3 to 4 videos, not counting Rally in the Forge, which will be, I'm trying to keep it 2 per week still, putting out information. I haven't done a Silver Bullets episode in a while, so I do want to do that. I might do that next week. But I also have to cover yet the Scientist League decks for that, for the Creature Chaos event. So there's so much to cover and do. And we got to play matches in all that time as well. We got matches to play, so I'll be busy. A lot of stuff to keep up on, which is great. I enjoy it. I just want to make sure I'm getting things out to you guys in a timely manner. So as always, I appreciate comments and feedback. Feel free to leave a comment on the video and let me know what you think, what you'd like to see, what you don't care for that I do. If there's things I bring up, you're like, I don't care about that, I don't want to hear about it. Great. Let me know so I can cut it out. And let me know what you do like so I can cover that more. So I do appreciate everybody. I always appreciate the support. And I look forward to seeing you guys in some of these events that are going to be coming up and competing against you guys. So take it easy, and I'll see you guys around.